Imagine a space so narrow that two massive ships can barely pass without touching. Now, imagine that this tiny sliver of blue water holds the power to bankrupt nations in a single week. This is a 21-mile gap between survival and collapse. A place where the heartbeat of the global economy is squeezed through a needle's eye. It is the jugular vein of humanity. But while the world watches for the spark of war, it often misses the masterpiece hidden in plain sight. Beneath the radar locks and the missile batteries lies a land that looks like it belongs to another planet. A world of crimson soil and salt cathedrals. Is it the world's most dangerous choke point? Or is it a forgotten miracle of the earth? Every morning, as the sun hits the limestone cliffs of the Musandam Peninsula, the dance begins. Giant tankers, the length of 4 city blocks, enter a corridor where there is no room for error. The shipping lanes are just 2 miles wide in each direction. Within these narrow bounds, 20 million barrels of oil move every single day. That is 20% of the world's daily consumption. 1/4 of the planet's natural gas travels this same path. If this flow stops, the losses reach into the hundreds of billions of dollars. It is a gamble where the stakes are entire civilizations. Across the water, Iranian fast attack boats and coastal batteries wait in the shadows. Here, advantage is not measured by the size of your fleet, but by the shortness of the distance. Everything is ready to be activated in seconds. A single wrong turn, a false signal on a radar screen, and the lights go out in cities thousands of miles away. But move 5 miles off the coast of Bandar-e, and the tension shifts into something surreal. Hormuz Island. It looks like a piece of Mars has fallen into the Persian Gulf. 600 million years of salt and fire have pushed through the Earth's crust to create a landscape of 70 different colors. Crimson cliffs drop into transparent blue water. The soil here isn't just ground, it's life. The local residents grind the red earth into spice, mixing the very minerals of their island into their bread. They are consuming the geology that the rest of the world is fighting to control. This is salt diaperism, an ancient process where salt domes rise like slow-motion explosions. While master strategists mime out battle lines, the island continues its own argument, one that began before human history. It is a place where nature performs with a theatricality that makes war feel like a modern distraction. To the west lies Keshm, the largest island in the Gulf. It is a fortress of human resilience. In the village of Loft, hundreds of wind towers rise into the heat, capturing the breeze to cool homes without a single watt of electricity. It is a technology of survival perfected over 1,000 years. Nearby, in the shipyards, men build massive wooden vessels called lenge. They use no blueprints, no technical drawings. Every curve and every joint is held in their memory, passed down through generations of hands. These boats once carried pearls and spices. Now they navigate the same waters as nuclear-powered destroyers. On the island of Larak, the water itself begins to glow at night. Bioluminescent organisms turn the waves into streaks of neon blue. It is a silent, beautiful warning that this ecosystem is alive, even as the industrial weight of the world tries to crush it. This is the peak of asymmetric warfare. A multi-billion-dollar aircraft carrier enters the strait and suddenly finds itself vulnerable to a fleet of low-cost speedboats and hidden mines. The terrain is the weapon. The rocky inlets of the Musandam fjords and the hidden caves of the salt domes provide cover that no satellite can fully pierce. Electronic warfare turns radar displays into static. It is a digital and physical labyrinth where a single mistake triggers a chain reaction of missiles and fire. This is not just a shipping lane, it is a pressure cooker. The world relies on its stability, yet the very geography that makes it valuable also makes it impossible to fully control. We see the Strait of Hormuz through the lens of crisis, but the people who live here see it through the lens of endurance. They have watched empires rise and crumble from the walls of the Portuguese fort. They have survived the heat that melts machinery. They are the guardians of a corridor they do not own, framed by a beauty they cannot sell. The world calls it a choke point. The earth calls it a masterpiece. As the tankers continue their slow, heavy trek through the 2-mile lanes, the red dust of Hormuz continues to blow across the water. We are all tethered to this narrow pulse of global order, and in this 21-mile stretch, we are beginning to learn a truth the islands have known for millions of years, that the most fragile things are often the ones that hold the most power. The pulse continues. For now.